So, AI and EU, put them together, what do you get? A job-creating machine. What does that all mean? We will find out right now. Ladies and gentlemen, ready for our next speaker here on stage. Please welcome to the stage right now, Director General of the AI Center in Sweden, Mr. Reza Moussavi.
Thank you. Hi, I'm happy to be here and thank you for being with me. We will go through AI, EU, and how these together create a job-creating machine. I will go through different stages. First, we look into what do we mean with AI, and then what is AI plus EU. And lastly, looking for different jobs related or indirectly related to AI. And at the end, the role of Sweden and Swedish AI Fund towards creating jobs in AI industry in Europe and European continent, actually. So, what is AI? This is the first thing you see in Wikipedia. AI is intelligence demonstrated by machines as opposed to the natural intelligence displayed by animals and humans. So when someone does something and you feel like that's a smart person, and when machine does something similar, we call it AI. That's easy, that's simple. It used to be something like playing chess, playing these kind of things, and now we don't see it as AI that much. It used to be like a couple of conditional statements, like when you pick up your phone, it turns on this display. It's not AI, no one call it AI, but we used to see that as AI. So more advanced we get, we have more expectation to call things AI. Right now, when we see a self-driving car, we call it AI because we don't know how it does it, but we know it should have some sort of intelligence to do that. And in the future, next generations or generations after that, they might not see self-driving cars as AI-enabled, and they're looking at different things to call it AI, maybe creative arts or something else. AI comes in different forms. Computer vision, speech recognition, natural language processing, and these kind of stuff like pattern recognition, all of those we can see AI is playing a role. When computer recognize your face or recognize something happening, it's a computer vision AI, and we see it as some sort of intelligence happening in the machine that recognize something visual. It has a lot of different branches, for example, video analysis. When you are playing a YouTube, a machine or your computer or your phone can recognize something happening in live streaming, for example, a violence happening in live streaming. Those kind of things goes under the computer vision category of AI. And the others are self-explanatory, so AI comes in different forms. And now, where we can find AI, there is a supply chain of AI. It starts from R&D in academia and research, how we develop AI or how we philosophically, before academically looking into intelligence, and then it goes up to the user applications and end users. So we have the bottom line science that we think about AI, we design something that looks like it should be intelligence or it can be intelligence, and then we use different tools and methods to implement some products that are intelligence, and then provide those products as a service. So when, for example, you get a self-driving car, it's a product, but the service it provides is to do the driving. And then the applications of those services, what can it do? So if Uber or a taxi uses a self-driving car to deliver a service and does something, that would be the application of AI. So there are different layers, and in the science layer, we have research, technology itself, not implementation of technology, but technology itself, and then the idea that we come up with. In the tools level is the tools that we are creating or using with which we create AI and with which we create products that are intelligence. The products can be AI software that we can buy or develop, and then again, the service can be something like software as a service, online things that we use. The simplest example could be spam filtering in emails. It's a service, AI service. And then the application layer is when we can apply it, for example, in business. So now that we have a very broad view of AI and what can be called AI, we want to look into what does it do in Europe and what's the relation between AI and EU. We'll look into electronics, software, and then AI. In EU, we have had major hardware electronic brands like Nokia, Siemens, Alcatel, Ericsson, and Philips used to be global major players in electronics, but not anymore. And today we have 0 major EU company that produce either PC or gaming console or mobile phones, TV, display monitors, or camera or many other electronic devices. We do not have even one major global company that is based in Europe to do any of this as many others. So, in fact, US, China, Japan, Korea are leading, and EU was one of them, used to be, and now EU has lost electronics race in the world. Then after that, we get to the software. Around 40, 50 years ago, it was a hot topic. And we have 3 different things when we talk about software. Infrastructure. It's cloud computing, content distribution, domain name services, and those things can consider as software infrastructure that we can use to build stuff with computers. And then we have platforms that we build software upon them. So like operating systems, internet browsers, search engines, app stores, and social media are few platforms that we build software and application on them. And then applications themselves, which are end-user applications, such as Spotify, Skyscanner, Angry Bird. These are European examples. And these applications are the code that programmers develop over platforms that are running on infrastructures. The role of Europe and countries in European continent in applications are more significant than others. We actually lost the software race in infrastructure and platforms. We have something to do in applications. And, but here there is a problem. We are almost there. The problem is the major companies that are globally known and providing global applications are almost all of them focused on one application. Spotify is one company with one product. Skyscanner the same, Angry Bird, and those are the same. So we're almost there, not completely. So we can call it a loss for software in EU in a global scale. Now we want to look into AI and see what is AI plus EU that in the title. AI is new. Every year we hear a lot about what is AI, how we look into AI, and many people disagree on what can we call AI and how to define AI. So it's very new. It's almost like the time that software was 50 years ago or electronics were many years before that. So there is a chance that EU can win AI race. So right now there is a race, and who is winning the race? We have Center for Data Innovation that published an article as a result of research that has the same title. This is the brief summary of the result of the research, and I highlighted this part, that they find that despite China's bold AI initiative, the United States still leads in absolute terms. China comes in second, and the European Union lags further behind. And at the end of this research and this publication, they suggest the only way EU can win is to improve its AI capacities and capabilities. So who is winning the AI race? Definitely not EU yet, but EU took initiatives, learned from the past losses, and now we have set a goal for 2030 to have 20 billion annual investment in AI in Europe, with the hope that we will win this race and have a role in global market in AI. So now we are going to jobs. We talked about AI. We talked about what do we mean with AI plus EU, and we learned how Europe is looking to AI and wants to win this race after losing 2 other related races. And now we want to look into what does it have to do with jobs. So looking in different statistics, I found 3 couple of numbers very interesting to share here that could be relevant to other slides. 73% of European tech jobs are generated by startups. 73% of tech jobs. So if we want job creation, we cannot rely on big companies and corporations. And we can see that on the news, corporations are laying off employees, firing people in mass numbers. But startups are generating jobs, 73% of the tech jobs. And this is almost 5,000 different startups in Europe that are creating these jobs. And the thing is, if you think about it, big corporations are either slow growing, so few job additions to their system, or they're losing something or firing people, so there are job losses. But startups try to start something. Either they lose, so there is nothing to create or lose, or they succeed. It means they will get a lot of jobs added. So the only way startups can do is to add jobs, not losing jobs. If you start thousands of startups and none of them succeed, you lose almost no jobs there. But if you get one big company bankrupted, tens of thousands of jobs will be lost. The second one is interesting to me. On average, each European startup employs 17 people. When it says on average, it means considering those startups that have 1 employee or 2 co-founders working 2-3 years together and then not succeed, or succeed but keeping in that way. So it means 17 people, each startup on average. And we have 5,000 startups creating 73% of European tech jobs. Put those numbers together and we can see that startup field or startup era is where we can create jobs. And the last part, young companies, startups after they're starting growing, are creating jobs at a rate of 10% year on year. It means I have 1 employee, I have 10 employees, next year 11 employees, next year almost 12 employees, next year, and then it grows faster because year on year 10%. And 73% of European jobs, each startup 17 people and 10% growth every year. So So we can see that 73% of jobs are created by startups, 10% annual growth, and what type of jobs we have. First, we might think, how many tech people should we have to have 73% of the jobs of tech industry field, and it would be significant for our countries or the European Union. But, and how many of those tech jobs should be software jobs, and how much of those software jobs should be AI jobs? But the types of jobs that we are looking into could be directly AI related, like data scientists, machine learning experts, and so on. But it can be not directly AI, but related to AI. Like you could be a developer on TensorFlow. You're not AI developer, but you are a developer using a tool that's used for developing AI. A company might hire you, or a startup might get you as a co-founder because you know how to code in a way that AI industry needs. And there are also non-AI tech jobs, the technology jobs that has nothing to do with AI directly, like programmers in general, network experts, cloud experts, DevOps. And those are the jobs that are tech, not AI, but if you have an AI company, you need them. And there are non-tech jobs, like marketing and sales, accounting. They are jobs that these companies that are creating startups, they need those. They need lawyers, they need accounting, they need marketing and sales. These are very classic examples, but it can go way wider. So if we focus on startups, if we focus on growth and job creation, it is a few number of, or few percentage of that could be AI. Many of that could be tech related, not AI related, and there are a considerable portion that is non-tech created by tech industry. So, we looked into AI, overview of AI. We looked into what EU is doing with AI and why. And we looked into job opportunities in AI industry and EU and how it can be a good opportunity. So the European Union looking for creating jobs, European continent countries in European continent looking for creating jobs. AI industry is what we haven't lost. EU is investing heavily in creating jobs and creating AI industry. So there are opportunities, and AI jobs are not just tech, software, or AI related, but many other jobs related to businesses and companies. Now, I like to talk about, since I'm coming from Sweden, I like to talk about Swedish role and impact and in this matter, how we are contributing or helping EU as one of many countries that are doing something to make this AI plus EU job creation machine happen. We have several different organizations, initiatives, and programs in Sweden, but I would like to talk about one of them, which is Swedish AI Fund. We call it SAFE. Swedish AI Fund is started to step out of Sweden and work internationally, including EU, of course. But the focus is not Sweden, is not just EU, it's internationally. We are looking for startups, micro businesses, and individuals to fund because of those 73% jobs in tech created by startups. And those startups might need the next person, and next person, next person to hire, and those people might need some fund to do something, to learn something, to get certified, to buy some service, or those kind of stuff. So we are looking to 500 to 5,000 euro per application, and we have the capacity of 10,000 applications per year. So with this, we can make sure that the startup ecosystem and skill work ecosystem, they can get something to start with and cover small costs that they have. And since it is distributed to 10,000, almost 10,000 applications, we make sure that a good portion of them get success, get the push they need and the help they need to do something. And the last item that is very important, and it was very tricky to implement, was administration by local partners. So we're partnering with different universities, different associations in different countries, and in each country or each local area, region, geographical region, we have partners to get the fund, portion of the fund, get the applicants in their region, due diligence, approval, and distribution. So we don't do the review and approval in Sweden. We trust the universities and associations in different countries to do the due diligence, do the decision making, look into the budget getting from us, and distribute the fund to make sure that fast as possible we can cover 10,000 applicants per year. Thank you, and I hope I had something to add and give you some overview, insight of what's happening. If you have any questions or any comments, I would be happy to.
Yeah, won't do that now, but clearly if you have a question, you're curious, you'd like to know more, you're around today, obviously, so you can grab a coffee, have a chat with Reza, and see where you can take those conversations forward. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Reza Moussavi. Thank you so much. Right.